Okay, so let's try the last thing we're going to try for today, and hopefully this will work for us. We're going to try a blend. Okay, so we're going to blend multiple shapes. We saw earlier how we used a blended shape within that voided box. As a matter of fact, just so you see what I'm talking about, remember that box earlier, and I had that void shape cut through it. Well, in this particular instance, this time we're going to try an actual blend, but we're going to do a solid blend. You can also do void blends, and we're going to start using voids more and more. And one thing that you'll probably see the void's going to be beneficial for, we could make a particular thing in our building systems class that we've been talking about. Couldn't we make a waffle slab with subtracting from a solid thing, a solid surface? Because here's what I haven't got into with you yet, and we'll get into it more later. If I go to in place mass, so I'll go to massing in site, in place mass, save this project, right? And I'll let it be mass one. That's fine. That's the default. When I go to create a mass, right, which I can do anywhere I want now, I'm going to not show this reference plane. I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to say, what if I was just drawing this rectangle, right? And I said create form, solid form. Now, when I select the whole thing, I can come over here and I can make this. You see how this is a mass, but I can turn it. You see how I can't turn it over here into anything? I can't adjust it because it is a mass. It is not a family category yet. So you can see how when we create families, this isn't a family, this is a mass. But we can create mass forms within families, and we'll get to that in another week or so, okay? So when we get to that point, we'll be using these within a family we're creating to create mass objects, but they'll be on a family category at that point, if that makes sense. Right now, we're just working with masses, okay? So let's create the mass we want to create. First, let's do this. Let's create a spline through points. Let's see if we can make, now, notice I'm drawing on that level right now, right? Let's see, each one of these points might allow me to do something. What do I mean by that? What if I want to draw a rectangle and it's saying, where do you want to do it? Well, look at this. I can do it on that point, can I? All right. And then if I want to go to this one and say I want to draw maybe a polygon on that point, I can draw the polygon, right? Then if I want to come here, I'll select that reference point. So now we've had reference plane, reference lines. Now we're on reference points. Now I want to draw a circle. You see how I'm snapping to the middle of it and drawing? And so I'm going to repeat that on the rest of these. I'm going to go in and now I'm going to draw another shape. Let's see if I can draw a rectangle. Not a rectangle, but if I can draw somewhat of a triangular shape here. I don't know. Let's see. See if it'll let me do it. I don't know. It may yell at me later. I don't know. We'll see. Then I'll come here, select that point, and say I want to draw another rectangle. And you see how it's turning into almost a miniature reference plane on its own. I select that point, and then I go in, and again, I'll draw another circle. Revit might really scream at me here. I don't know, especially when I turn this corner for home right here. So I'll click there, and then I'll do another rectangle or a square, somewhat of a square to finish it out, right? Make it the same size if I can, right? And how I can go here, and now there's that point. So now, if I click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, now this is not going to work the way we want it to work, but I want you to see what happens when I do it this way. Revit's yelling at me. What are you wanting me to do here? Right? I'm going to hit cancel. This time I'm going to click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm also going to select the spline and then see if now it wants to cooperate with me. And it looks like, oh, we're digging that a little bit, aren't we? So now we can do these freeform shapes. So if you wanted to do a freeform shape on your building, you can set a reference plane, or even like I did it on my level 1, right? So it's blending all those shapes together. So whatever shape you can think of to draw on that reference point slash plane, now Revit is going to blend it for you and create the shape you want. So now if you're thinking about the way that we can apply this to a face, and we haven't really started applying to faces of buildings and things like that, we could put an organic facade on a what? On the face of a building. So when you see those splash screens in Revit and all those funky things, believe me, people, this is part of how they do that. So really interesting, nice tool to start getting a good feel for, especially for you people that are going on. Now, yes, this is not a real practical everyday in the architectural office tool, but it's a super practical tool when you're in college and you are trying to create an interesting design. You can use masses to do it. So now I can finish that mass. And what's cool about this mass now is that I can come in here and look what I can do. I can pull, right? Or I thought I could pull. Maybe it's not going to work for, oh, I guess with the blend, it's not going to let me pull. But I can edit it in place, right? And I think when I edit in place, I think I can move. I think I can move it. Maybe I can't. Let me see. Okay, yeah, now I can move it. So I can pull that down some. Is it going to cooperate? Yep. See how I pulled it? It's in the edit tool. I can still divide this surface. And again, we're going to get into a lot of different things we can do here, people. But just seeing what you can do with the tool at this point to adjust it, it's got to get you really excited about what's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks of class. So I'll go ahead and stop out this video. I'll take some questions and then we'll wrap up for the day. Okay. Let's see.